Yes, we're on right in the cooking. Frank's on his holidays.
Aye,
thank
certainly
God.
is.
Slaney's filling in. Big pants to fill, Paul.
Absolutely, I don't know if I'll be able to fill that man's pants.
Just whenever Derek goes to talk, just button in.
I don't mind that with Frank, that's not a problem at
He's
all.
the man, isn't he?
A great
Listen,
juice too, isn't he?
Aye, when he's got something to say, you've got to listen, that's for sure.
He's a man, isn't he?
Aye,
By the way, there was a video he goes on Twitter the other day. Did you see it for West Ham?
I did not. Well, listen, I played against him. He was top notch with a player. Sometimes he plays that. Well, I was going to say he plays it down. No, he doesn't. He talks himself up. No, listen, I played against Frank numerous times. He was absolutely top draw.
Listen, Derek, I love Frank, but I remember he said to me he's close and he knew Katy Perry. Knew that. As soon as he told me that, I knew he was lying. He doesn't know Katy Perry at all. Do you know what I mean?
No, he does.
Or does he actually?
Russell Brand's his mate. Remember he went out with?
I see, aye.
Okay, he's...
Do you think he knows her?
Oh, I think he does know her. Anyway, you'll be watching, so enjoy your holidays.
Have a great holiday, Frank.
Have a good one, Biggie.
And right, by the way, we're hearing open goal, man.
By the way,
Open goal FC.
they're actually quite...
No, just for the young ones.
So these are on sale?
They're going to be on sale soon.
Right.
Listen,
Who's benefiting from that?
Not
Is that
me.
with you?
Frank.
I think that's how he's been on holiday. But listen, it's lovely to get it. I'm very disappointed there's nothing on me. It's man, this
Your
show's
face
all
or
about
You should get it on the back.
it's poor that. Listen,
Joker.
brilliant. There will be a Joker range coming out very soon, Derek. Do you know what I mean, Si?
Right, what a night last night. Dramatic. Rangers go 2 up. They lose the lead. Hamilton equalise. And then Celtic score in the last minute. Even though it's only December, sorry Derek, is it a significant night in the title race?
Of course it can be. I didn't expect. I tell you what, I didn't expect it to be so close between Celtic and Hamilton. I think Celtic would have been quite comfortable. And as it was unfolding, I was working last night. I was at the St Mirren Motherwell game, and for them to score so late on, Hamilton, and you're thinking, wow, you know, because I knew that with Rangers, you know, getting into that 2-goal lead should have been out of sight by all accounts in the first 30-35 minutes. But fortunately, the game doesn't last 30-35 minutes. It's a 90-minute game. So they lost their way, Rangers, certainly in that second half. And I witnessed that a couple of weeks ago when I was at the Hamilton game. For the last 20 minutes, I don't know if they took the foot off the pedal, they thought the job was done, and it could have come back to bite them in the backside. But that day, Kent stood up to the mark, a fine goal. But Celtic, you know, that's that never say die. Listen, that's partly why they're champions, and that's why you can't take anything for granted with them, because they always find a way and they'll go right to the final whistle. Well, that's a 92nd?
92nd.
Well, there you go. So you can't just take your foot off the pedal.
But can I ask you something? Because we've debated about this before. First half, Aberdeen sat off Rangers. And then the second half, they got tighter to them, higher up the pitch. Why are more teams not doing that against Celtic and Rangers? Going having a go against them?
I think,
especially at home. I watched South Cross County against Celtic.
I've said before,
they're going to beat you every day.
Partly the reason is, I've said it before, if you go toe to toe, I think, this is my personal opinion, with a Celtic or a Rangers, 9 times out of 10 you'll get found out, right? But they've set out a game plan last night. Clearly it wasn't working, so credit to Aberdeen and McInnes
for changing
because they got the goal, but he changed the formation in the second half.
Lewis was the one, Derek.
Well, I'll need to see the game. But what I heard listening to it is they put Gallagher up closer to Cosgrove. Lewis come into a deeper role, maybe got on the ball. But you'd have still thought that Rangers would have had enough about them to see that game out. So I think Gerrard was critical, quite rightly so, about that, because he does his job at the side, and during the week it's up to the players to carry out that plan, and obviously they didn't, whether that's a mental thing. But listen, you can't learn on the job, you've got to get it right, and they obviously didn't get it right last night, and it's cost them.
Quietest I've seen you, well done.
I love listening.
You're in aura of him, aren't you?
I've said it before.
Seen the old nipples getting hard on his
Absolutely, he's the man that gets me out of my bed in the morning. I've always said that. So,
is he in the bed with you?
I would love that. I love this man to bits. He's one of the best. I would love him to get back into management. That's for another day, Si. But what I would say about last night is, you look back in any league, and I always remember when Man United were going through the run with Sir Alex Ferguson, Si, at the end of the season, they'd look back at the season and the pivotal moments And that one was last night,
Last minute winners.
That was huge. That the icon, get Scott Brown's statue built right now, Si.
Wow.
That
next
man,
to what? Next to Brother Wilfred and Jockstein?
he deserves it now, Si. That man, you look at Dyla, you look at Lennon, you look at Rodgers, Scott Brown is the one that's keeping Celtic the winning. He's an absolute winner, and that man does not know what it is to be beat. He does not know, Derek, and that was sensational last night when Hamilton scored right at the end, and for them to bounce back and score again. Now, it was an off night for Celtic.
Why was it off, Paul?
I believe, listen, nothing to do with the cup final, right? Nothing to do with the cup final. I believe Neil Lennon should have changed it a wee bit. So I think he should have had Griffiths on for the start, Mikey Johnson for the start, Forrest, Brown, McGregor, Christie. I'd have rested them side. And nothing to do with the cup final because Celtic play a Thursday then a Sunday. So there's nothing to do with that. But I just think when you're playing Hamilton at home side and the games Celtic have had, they played Rennes, Lazio, the last few months, it's been huge. So I think mentally, fatigue mentally, Si, a wee break, physicality.
Could also had maybe a slice of luck because I watched a wee bit of the highlights. The build up to the goal, Griffiths, there's a wee nudge, think it's Stubbs.
Right.
It could have been a foul.
Right.
Wasn't given, play goes on and Brown scores a good goal, cracking goal. And you look at the Aberdeen game,
penalty,
Morelos, Lewis, edge of the box, and I look back at it, it's a hard one for the referee. He called, maybe he was too close to the action and that's how we didn't get the call right. But that could have went another way, and they could have got the penalty. Rangers win the game. So sometimes there's moments like that as well. You need that, not just the quality, but that wee slice of luck. It's amazing. But we're saying, could it make a difference coming in the season? Of course, because 2 points is huge. Yeah. But there'll be some swings and roundabouts. What are you up to there?
I thought you were getting the Bruni there. I wanted to ask you, did Hamilton have a go at Celtic?
I was really. I've said in the past, I've been very critical. Great to see him doing the Bruni. I've been very critical of teams coming to Parkhead and Ibrox other years. I believe the metallic. Hamilton were great last night, Si. As Derek said, they sat in their numbers, but when they had the ball, they wanted to go for Celtic. The only problem.
Why didn't you show?
I'll do it near the end, Si. But what I noticed was, Derek, was what Hamilton struggled was in the final third. They didn't have that extra wee bit of quality.
That's what most teams in the
of course. But Hamilton were great up until that point. So they played a really good game. Obviously, Celtic's point of view, they weren't great. But for Hamilton, they done great last night.
Any players in particular you want to give me that done well for Hamilton?
I don't know any of them.
Was a young boy Smith playing?
Aye.
Different class, by the way, and he's one for the future. He's going to just get better and better.
Right, Derek, I need to ask you because I've seen it on Twitter. I'm always on Twitter. Quite a lot of the Rangers fans are critical of the back two centre backs and feel like a wee changes maybe needed in there.
I know that there's one or two not being happy with Goldson. It's hard for me to call because I just see the highlights. Yeah. Hollander as well. Sometimes, is he going to get back at somebody if they're going to running away from him? I think his recovery's not the greatest. He's not the quickest. So
Kevin Kyle recovery in it.
But listen. It doesn't matter, whether you win. Fans are going to have their say. You're saying you're on Twitter. I mean, my God, some of the stuff that's put out there. That's how I don't get near it, because it probably upset you. But I have heard, speaking to some guys that go to the games, watch them, that Goldson hasn't been at his best, and Hollander. So Katic, because of that, he'll get his opportunity. But listen, big game coming up, which obviously we're going to talk about the weekend.
Do you stick with the two for that big game?
I probably would, because they have got that understanding between them. Have they made a few mistakes recently? Aye, but who doesn't? So, but I wouldn't imagine that Gerrard would want to change it.
And Paul, I need to ask you, right back, is it Bauer or is it Frimpong?
Oh, Frimpong all day.
How was Bauer last night? Strip's far too baggy, innit?
Far too big. The socks, I don't know what he's doing with that. That hair slipped back. For me, Bauer, he's there for games like that last night, Si, if you're needing to rest players and stuff. But certainly for a cup final, he's not for me. But
is he a good looking boy?
Very good looking.
Is that how you're very critical of him?
A bit jealous, don't you? But certainly, regarding Rangers' defence, I think it's a real worry for Gerrard. I really, really do. I watched them last night, Si, and my goodness, the two of them They're far too slow, especially boy Haaland. He's far too slow. And boy John Flanagan last night, he was a wee boy lost in a man's world last night. My goodness, he actually I think went through a stage in the game where he stopped playing football and just tried to kick the ball as high as he could. I don't know what he was trying to do. And he said he must have been playing a game. I'm going to volley as high as I can and see how high I can get it. It wasn't acceptable for a Rangers fullback. For me, leading into the cup final.
Barisic will be
he's got to play, and my goodness, I believe they might need to look at getting another centre half in because the boy Haaland was.
I know, but they've got Edmondson and Katic. Why?
I would Katic. I would look at getting him inside because last night Gerrard's done an absolute magnificent job. And they've come on, but certainly looking at that defence last night, and if you're Neil Lennon watching that second half, my goodness, you are going to go for their throat side. You're going to play balls and tapping them. So
no, the only change I think would be Barisic. I know we're talking about goals and there's a few fans that are not too happy. Are you going to keep everybody happy? No. But what's going to be really important come Sunday for me is who you're going to sit in front. There. Is it going to be Davis? Is it going to be Jack? And Neil probably a wee bit more reserved because he'll not have as much of the ball. But they're clever players in terms of they read the game very well, and that's what they're going to have on Sunday. And I get that Haaland, he doesn't look the quickest, and he is a bit cumbersome at times. So that's why you're looking for maybe at times like the Barisic, maybe Tavernier just coming back in, tucking in on the cover a little bit.
Did you see Goldson last night for the goal? I think he's moaning about a shove. See the centre half side, they get it out. We said about Julian last week
as well.
You should be shoving him at the way.
I'm glad you said it, because that's a pet hate of mine.
Do you know what I mean?
I saw Julian spitting the dummy, so I've not saw this with Goldson.
Julian last week greeting it about somebody pushing it. They centre back should be shoving the strikers out the way instead
of course,
complaining.
Correct. Right, is December the defining month because there's tough fixtures coming up as well? Can it be won in December?
I don't think it is too early, and you know that both managers are never going to concede that, but it's vitally important. So it is because obviously with the two of them being in Europe as well. But games like that last night, you know, it is pivotal. It's so important. So listen, it's about recovery. Rangers have had a done already this season, and they recovered brilliantly. So that'll be a huge disappointment for them last night. So I think they'll recover. And it'll come down to the last game. What is it, the 29th? 29th. What time are we talking about? I think it'll come down to that. Is it a 12 o'clock lunchtime?
I think it will be.
Is that the last game before the break?
So that's going to be absolutely huge. The only thing is I didn't see that Rangers would drop any more points. I thought they would have seen off Aberdeen quite comfortably last night. But listen, they cannot afford to drop any more points. Okay,
Paul Slaney, could this be the best Celtic and Rangers game ever?
I think it's
no, just the last two.
No, other side. They've not got the players they had when Derek was playing in icons like that. But certainly, for the last few years, side it certainly is. The two teams are very strong side. It's the closest Rangers have been side, and I'm saying that with all due respect because they were doing the league, so it's been very hard for them to compete with Celtic. You know what I mean? So now they're in a level playing field side, and the whole world's going to stop for this side. The whole world.
Really? The whole world?
And it's the most. And I can't wait.
I agree with him, man.
Because the cup final side, and I can't wait. I'm so happy I've got the pleasure to be with Derek today. I want to know what it is a few days before the cup final. What is going on through the boys' heads? What is the chat and the changing room? What's his training like? What's the manager?
Oh, they'll be away, staying in a hotel.
Well, they'll be away.
But we used to go down to Ayrshire. You know, it was
a few days before?
They'll not go to Ayrshire now, will they?
I don't know. I'm not sure, but it's totally different in the way they train and all that, and they prepare for the big games. We were always took away, just basically go away for the family.
A few beers, relax.
Oh, a few beers. You wish? By the way, no.
Because you got a couple of wines now.
No. We weren't allowed.
Not even a couple of days before now?
No.
We done
you go away and, I was going to say, you go away and you do daft things, like you have daft haircuts.
You still do it?
I hear Mr McCoy's getting a bit of stick
this morning. Did you see it? Terrible, that's chicken head.
Listen, fair play him, by the way. When it's gone, just get it off, just go for it. No, but that's what we used to do, and get away
and
for
was
a few
a constant
days.
talk about...
No, really?
No. Was it like any other game? No, any other game, but you have the same mindset as you're there to win and do a job, and that's it.
But you know within yourself, you know it's what your job is in that day, and it's to win the game for the fans. Mm-hmm. I was brought up a Rangers fan. I know what it means to the punters. To them, you can make not just their weekend, the whole week.
Yeah.
We talk about the bragging rights, but
Christmas.
It's a great feeling if you can win a game of football, knowing that you can send their fans home happy, not even home, you've seen them going to the pub for a few beers and all that and just chill out. That's a powerful thing to have in your locker, that you can be responsible for that. And that's the way that I was brought up for a young age, that it wasn't just about you, it was about you, the responsibility for the punters, the fans that pay their money, to give them what they desire.
Brilliant. And that's how Morelos going to break his duck, Derek?
He's in fine form, isn't he? You know, I think he didn't get maybe the service that he required last night, but Hampden, big park, huge occasion. What better way to break your duck, you know, and score in a final? Listen, he's obviously high in confidence. Just listening into a bit of the commentary last night, I think he was getting a wee bit irritated with some things, and I think that was maybe the service that he wasn't getting. So you give him a service, he'll put the ball in the back of the net.
Slaney, if Edouard and El Yunusi don't make the game, who are favourites? Wow.
I think if Edouard isn't fit, I think you've got to go Rangers a favourite side.
Wow.
How
can you say that if Celtic have won the last
I would say Celtic are still slight favourites.
It's got to be, haven't they? They've won the last 6 cups.
No, just the reason I say that is...
Don't be putting a bet in anything in it.
I just don't know who'll lead the line then for Celtic. Because for some reason, I don't know why Griffiths isn't
Who led the line last night?
Morgan. And he's not going to play Morgan in the cup.
Edouard will be fit. If he's trained this week, he's playing.
I think so, Si.
Of course, a break's coming up, you're playing Edouard.
If Edouard plays, I would make Celtic favourites, but I think Morelos, for this, I believe he will score in the final. I think he'll do it, Derek. I just can't wait for it. The move's working as we speak, Si. It really is. It cannot wait.
So Celtic favourites for you as well, Derek?
Slight favourites. And again, just because the kind of momentum shift with the game last night, how does it affect him mentally as well? When I'm saying about you get excited, you get nervous, that tension, but just in the back of your mind, so just the way Celtic have been performing, and because of what they've done in the past few years, of course they're going to be favourites, but I don't think that's a bad thing for Rangers to be underdogs, because on their day, if Rangers are at it, are bang on, they can beat as I've shown in Europe, they can beat some real good teams. Celtic are a good team, but can Rangers beat them? Of course they can.
What a game it's going to be. Right, we're going to move on to the race for third. Paul Slaney, I'll ask you first. Aberdeen, I haven't even put Hibs in this race for third, do you know that? It's between Aberdeen and Motherwell for me. Motherwell flying. Aberdeen look to be getting back to their best. Who'll finish third? Can you make a prediction this early?
I'm going to say the now. And I'll stick by my guns. Hibernian Football Club will finish third. And I'll tell you why.
This will be the last time.
I'll tell you why.
We're looking for expert analysis on this show. Hibs will not finish third.
Well, in January is huge. That's what transfer.
Why? What, do you think they're going to buy players?
But I believe Doisball will be at the club.
You think he'll go
No, he's doing well, big Dois. But no, I think, listen, I was last night when Hibs were 1-0 up and I seen Aberdeen were getting beat with Rangers. I was thinking, this is great. Hibs are going to do it. I don't know. I just think that there's nobody really grasping that for. Motherwell and Aberdeen are doing well. I would admit that they're doing well, but I'm going to stick by my guns and go for Hibs, Derek. So maybe you take care of this wee part.
Aberdeen will finish third.
It's not a given. I don't think there's much between the rest of them.
No.
You take away Rangers Celtic, you look at the rest of them, I don't think there's much in it. I think it's on any given day. Who plays at the top of the form can win that game. I mean, look at Hamilton last night. You know, they gave Rangers a run for their money as well. They're in a kind of an area that they're used to, relegation spot. But Motherwell, I watched Motherwell, was at that game last night. Going forward, they were excellent. The boy Houghton, they brought the boy Seedorf as well. Yeah. And the young boy that scored, and his name escapes me for a second. I can't believe that. I done that last night.
Who's that, sorry?
James Scott.
You were speaking about him earlier. He doesn't get a game for the
because I watched a few of the under-21 games of late, and he doesn't get an opportunity, even off the bench. And last night, the 2 goals that he scored were absolutely top drawer. You know, because the game was going nowhere for half an hour, and then he just popped up in the space of 5 minutes, 2 cracking goals. One, he cuts in for the right-hand side with his left foot, and he just drills it. Yeah. Beautiful strike. And then the next one, it's a nice bob for Polworth, and keeper comes out, and it's a kind of dink, a chipped finish, you know. So he was the difference last night that bit of quality, but once they get their noses in front, Motherwell look comfortable and they look solid at the back as well.
I'll tell you something, Paul. Sorry, Big House.
No, Mugabe come in as well, played beside Gallagher. So they look solid as well, and again in the midfield, Polworth, Campbell gets his goal.
Polworth good player, isn't he?
Yeah. You know, they're solid. No, I was going to say workman like, I mean, that's not been trying to be disrespectful to them, but they have got that. If they need to dig in, they can dig in. So Motherwell are a force to be reckoned with. That's just a few of them.
I'll tell you something, Paul. On the boys, Scott, Motherwell produced some tremendous young players.
Amazing, absolutely amazing. They're just constantly backing it up. For me, to sit here as a all-time European goal scorer, the youngest goal scorer in history plays. It's great to see these young boys coming through and trying to be me, do you know what I mean? So it's just an
Do you think you've laid a marker for these young boys to
listen,
enter?
I know, and I've been told, and I've seen it myself.
Your face is supposedly up
So
in the youth team dressing.
where did it go wrong at Motherwell? Tell me.
You went to Celtic for big
I
dough?
went to Celtic for the money, and when you get big money, instead of your head goes.
So you went, no, what? Listen, I don't know this. So you went from Motherwell to
Celtic, and then listen, I was hovered with injuries, Derek, and but talk about Motherwell.
How much did you go for?
About 1 million, we were about 950k.
He was paraded with Robbie Keane.
But did you see him at Aberdeen last night? Sitting with Niall McGinn, and how he's no messaged me to say he was there is beyond me. So anyway, moving on to that.
I'll need to look into your past
look in and we'll talk
find a
about
wee
it.
bit
Well,
more
I'm telling
about
you,
your good self.
Why don't you just go for a lunch and talk it off
Let's
through?
look into it together.
A liquid lunch. I'll just
Let's look into it together. Let me come round to yours with the archives.
Carol.
And with Carol
Who wants us round, but he keeps putting off for some reason. I don't know what he's waiting on.
Would you not be worried if you were me? You two coming down to this.
on,
Listen, you said, well, of course you're welcome. I'm only kidding.
I'll sing Penny Arcade.
She's a good.
By the way, before we move on, I don't feel like
She's
we're
a
doing
Celtic supporter. No, she's not a Celtic supporter. She's an Aberdeen supporter. Big time.
Right, I don't think we're doing the tees and the hoodies justice. Paul, would you?
Do you want me to parade it?
I want to. Can we get some music?
Oh.
We need to see the badge.
I think Mackie could have done a better job.
You think?
Oh,
Derek, I think Derek's going to do it.
Go on, Derek. Come on,
Oh, he's got this.
yes, look at these two.
You bastard.
Tremendous.
What a time, please.
Right, back to the football. Right, superb.
Enough of the nonsense. Heart or not? We'll stay with the nonsense. Hearts. And Buzz describes the recruitment of Barnsley manager Stendhal as a torturous process. How long should it be before they move on?
Torturous process for the fans. This is absolutely ridiculous. Getting so as Austin McPhee wants a job. He's not going to get it. No, he's not going to. That's what I'm coming to, because he's not going to get it. It's quite obvious. He's got his strength in other places in terms of coaching with the guys. But for it to take that long, and they've already said they want the man. So if there's compensation there, go and pay it.
Yeah.
Right, just
and if you're
get
not going to pay it, move on and get somebody else.
Of course, and bring somebody. I mean, there's a lot of good managers out there.
Here's my question for you though. If you're going to be willing to pay compensation for a guy like Stendhal who doesn't know your league, why would you not just go and pay the compensation for Stephen Robinson?
Well, on the evidence of what Stevie Robinson's, the way his teams play, what he kind of emphasises with his side, because he had a physical side at Motherwell, right, that were hard to play against. Totally changed that. He's went to a side that can play football, pace on the front foot. So
what Hearts are probably looking for, similar to what Hearts are looking for.
So I don't get this, Stendhal, man, because we spoke about it last week. Last 10 games at Barnsley. He lost them. He seems to be a bit of a character. He likes to go and have a few pints with the punters and all that. It's not a popularity contest. It's about winning games of football, and that's what Hearts need. They need somebody to come in and win games of football. Big time.
If it was a popularity contest, he'd have the job.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Right, Slaney, who should be the Hearts manager? Are you going with Stendhal? Any other?
No, I wouldn't have given it to Stendhal. I don't know who he is. But the boy Motherwell manager. It's not certain. He should have just been. I don't know if he would have took it or not, because it looks like a shambles run. But certainly what he's done at Motherwell, constantly bringing in through and recruiting really, really well. So he's perfect fit for Hearts. So I don't know what was the deal there. But maybe this guy will be good. So I don't know anything about him. I really don't.
Right. Okay. We're on Hibs again. Ross County. Are you surprised? Is that just? Does that sum Hibs up? 1-0 up away to Ross County. Concede 2 late goals.
Maybe because they've won a couple of games, I thought, we're here, we've done it, that's us, we can take the foot off the gas and everything's going to be rosy. Well, no, it's not like that. So
is it a mentality problem at Hibs?
Of course it is. That tells you that obviously the manager that's come in, he's got a bit of work to do. So come January, I think there might be, and you just spoke about, there might be a few comings and goings, because he's obviously time to evaluate the squad, and it's not just sometimes what you produce out in the park when you want to. It's sometimes you got to go to places like Dingwall, dig in and just win a game of football. So he's learning on the job at the minute, is Jack. So I think there might be some comings and goings.
What sort of player do Hibs need? Are they going to go?
Well, they let one go, didn't they? They let the big boy Bartley go, who scored last night, didn't they, against Hearts?
He's the type of guy, when you're 1-0 up, Bartley's there to stop it.
It's not just that, experience as well in that area, and I think guys like that, they're vital. I don't know, it's
crazy, isn't it?
Aye, it is. It's strange, so it is, because they could be doing with him. That type.
Well, who do you get in January for Hibs? I mean, what players are available in January? Well, they've not got money to spend. What is it, loans you're looking for?
Of course, and Jack's been doing in England.
So
there's a wee rumour going about that Griffiths could be going on loan. Wow. Don't know whether
he's starting that rumour, is that?
Loan. No chance.
You think so?
No, Celtic are going to let him go when they've got him back.
I know,
not just his fitness, but obviously mentally.
I think where the situation is that Edward will obviously come back, then you've got Bayo come back, and supposedly Celtic are looking to bring in a striker.
Obika, you said, didn't it?
Aye, so Obika, it'd be a great move for him and Celtic. Actually, more actually Celtic get a better move, a better deal for them.
Right, nonsense. Coupon.
Yes.
Continue with the nonsense. We'll let Paul Slaney go first.
The maestro.
Thanks very much, Derek.
Paul, you've went for. Oh, who are you going to get? Motherwell versus Hearts.
Motherwell, home win.
3-0.
What, 3-0?
Aye. Hearts are a disgrace.
Okay, wow. Hibs versus Aberdeen.
I believe it will be Hibs 2, Aberdeen 1.
Wow.
Lewis Ferguson will get the goal.
If Aberdeen beat Hibs, will you pay it?
Aye. That'll be done.
Right.
That'll be it. No fun place for
forward to
Hibs.
Monday. Hamilton versus St Mirren.
Move on. Do you want me to
I want to score for you. Or do you want to do Livingston and Kilmarnock?
I'll do Hamilton St Mirren. That'll be 0-0.
Oh, stinking.
Absolutely.
And finally, the showpiece. Rangers versus Celtic.
Well, I couldn't pick it, Si, for a long time. I didn't know who was favourites. It was neck and neck. But after watching Rangers' defence last night, I believe Celtic 2, Rangers 1. Morelos will score. I think Celtic will take the lead. Then Morelos will score, and then Celtic a winner. Or it will go 2-0, then Morelos will score. I don't know, but I believe Celtic will be crowned.
Who will score Celtic's winner?
James Forrest,
Your
the
man.
king. He is the king of the country. He's the best player
It's a
that's
man
ever
that
been
you've
in this
got a lot of
country.
love
I thought Scott Brown was.
See James Forrest, right, if he came to your house, would you keep him in a cage?
I would
I
tie him up and never let him leave my room.
I know it.
I love him to bits, I really do. I've got a big picture of him up my room now. Brand new picture, so it's amazing for him.
Brilliant. Right,
James,
Derek.
if you're watching, be
He's
careful.
superb, isn't he?
He's top
He's a
draw.
genius.
Top draw.
Right, you've gone Motherwell versus Hearts.
I wouldn't disagree with the young man here, but I don't know about 3-0. I'll be a wee bit closer than that, because listen, they've not got a manager, but come on, the Hearts boys, players, they've got to take a wee bit more responsibility and start putting in a performance, because they punters are paying week in, week out, good money, and they deserve a little better. So I'm going to go for Motherwell, because they've won 2 in the bounds, 4-0 against St Johnstone, 3-0 last night against St Mirren. I think they'll win it, but not as comfortable as what your man said.
The young man thinks. Okay, you've went Hibs and Aberdeen as well.
Aye, do you know something? I was going to sit on the fence with a draw, like something like a 1 each or a 2 each, but and I know Hibs have got home advantage. I just think with that coming back, I mean they shouldn't have got anything out of that game last night. I'm going to go with Aberdeen just to nick it. Sommer.
I would go with that. Yeah.
Just to nick it, be very tight.
Okay, and you've went Livingston Kelly.
Aye, and I'm going to go with Livy, because Hearts scored 2 minutes to go last night. Livingston, if you treat them lightly, by the way, they could come and bite you in the back side. So
you would enjoy that.
Aye, you would. Aye. That cage is worrying me, by the way. So it's no danger. I'm not getting near that. I'm going to go Livingston.
Are you?
Aye, I'm going to go Livy. Just again, so difficult to predict, because I don't think there's much between all these sides. Honestly, it's on any given day who comes up with that wee bit of magic, and that was James Scott last night. with the St Mirren Motherwell game. He produced 5 minutes. I thought it was brilliant.
You know, Kilmarnock have got more players that can produce that magic than Livingston.
Do you know? I think Livingston are underrated
right.
in terms of some of the boys that have got up top, and I think they can hurt them.
Okay, and finally.
And obviously you don't agree with me.
No,
That's how you're going that way.
I think Kelly will beat them.
Right, and again, Sunday, it's Celtic are slight favourites for me, and it might just come down to a Morelos or an Edward if he's playing, or a James Forrest, as he's saying, who can give us that wee bit of magic, that moment in the game. I just hope it's a game that it's not too tactical, that they go out and they have a go at each other. But I'm not going with my head, I'm going to go with my heart. So I'm going to go with Rangers, Morelos, to get that elusive goal that he so clearly wants. So.
Now remember, it's only a game, so to show that, go on, a wee hug, show that it's rivalries aside.
Good man.
Hey, I mean, good friends, on and off the pitches too, and whatever in the 90 minutes, give everything. See, but after that, that's it done. It's a game of football. You love it, and my goodness, I can't wait for it.
See what you just said there. That's what the players do.
Exactly.
That's what happens. So it's the punters as well.
Lads, pleasure as always.
You
Thanks
smell
very
brilliant.
much.